What's up, YouTube? So today's topic, I'm gonna talk about what happens if people or a person or a group of people, like, or people in general, like what happens if they don't do the healing work, or what happens if they're failing to grow and evolve. Um, when they fail to grow and evolve, then obviously they're gonna repeat the same cycles of them going through pain and bullshit. They're gonna keep attracting the same types of people when it comes to connections. They're gonna go through the same heartbreak, and they're gonna keep experiencing a lot of losses and failures. There's different types of failures. There's failures to which you caused, and that it was your fault, and then there's another one that's out of your control because you didn't know what was going on, or like you just didn't know. So, but people who refuse to do the healing work and to grow and evolve and to change themselves, they're gonna get stuck in the same life pattern. Life is gonna try to help them out, but if they're not taking the opportunities to do that, then eventually, slowly, they're gonna keep going downwards, and it's gonna happen very slow. And now they're gonna be put in a very bad situation in life. Now they're gonna lose connections with people because they burned bridges with a lot of people. They've they've created a lot of enemies. They've created situations where people don't believe them or trust them, and it's just their life is gonna slowly go down, and they're not gonna be happy. They're gonna feel miserable. Then eventually they're gonna fall into addictions, possibly like drugs, alcohol, food, sex. It could be anything to where they're gonna, or even their ego. They're gonna find something to escape all their problems and stuff like that, and that's how they fuck up their lives like that. But the root of most people's pains and the reasons why they're narcissistic and the reasons why they keep burning bridges with people and the reasons why they're refusing to change, there's a lot of reasons, and I know what they're coming from, but I'm not justifying it, but I know where they're coming from. And honestly, it's kind of not their fault in a way. So let me break this down. So one, we live in a society, in a world, to where it causes a lot of mental health issues, and it forces people to commit crimes in a way because they have no choice because of the money system. The money system keeps a lot of people stagnant and in a survival mode. It creates a lot of stresses because a lot of housing, a lot of apartments, rents, places to stay, and having access to cars and vehicles, that costs a lot of money. And most of these jobs, they don't provide us the right proper care for us to look out for ourselves. So most of these jobs, they don't give us enough income for us to survive. And most of these jobs take up most of our time and energy because of the money system. Human beings need rest. Human beings need recovery. Human beings need to feel safe. But we live in a society, in a world to where it's the opposite of that, where it's unsafe, it's unstable, it's hard to find a work, and even if you do find a work, it's toxic or it takes up most of your time. And it doesn't pay you to cover all of your bills, and it doesn't cover you to where you don't have to work. Yeah, it's going to create a lot of mental health issues and a lot of pain. So when that happens, it creates a domino effect of people becoming narcissistic, a lot of mental health issues. And when these people have kids, they can't take their they can't take care of the kids properly because they don't have the emotional tools to do so. Either that, or they don't have time to look out for them or take care of them because of work, because of school, because of life taking up most of their time. And that damages children like that psychologically. So that's now when these children grow older, they become narcissistic. They have mental health issues. They fall into addictions and traps, and they can't heal properly because they have gone through so much pain because they weren't taken care of by the caretakers. And the reason why their caretakers fail to take care of them because their caretakers were worried about survival and about the society, how it's not fair, and now it fucks them up mentally. So this is why we have like homeless people. We have people who have a lot of mental health issues. People commit suicides, crimes like that. It's because we live in a very unfair society. Now, there's another reason. There's a spiritual reason as well too. I feel like the universe and God or the creator or these beings that we can't see, but they're in the different realms, they're also responsible for that because because if they created this realm and this reality, technically they're our fault because they're allowing this realm to be so controlled and ruled by groups of evil people. So we're in a reality to where bad people are able to control this realm, control the society, and for them to get away with it because they know certain loopholes and certain rules and regulations to keep this society going without them getting karma for it, then that's a fucking problem. So that's not, so yes, people in power, they're the problem, but God and the universe and spirit, they're the problem too, because they're allowing this realm to be so fragile and to where evil people can manipulate their way into controlling this realm while screwing a lot of people over. And because we don't have access to our past life memories, so we can't really trace down what's going on or why things are happening like that. That causes a lot of issues. So we're pretty much born into this situation. And most of these school systems, they fail us because they don't teach us how to even prepare for this world. Schools don't teach us how to build a resume. Schools don't teach us how to work with money, how bills, like how to build bills, like where bills come from, where does rent come from, how to apply for an apartment, how to drive a car. Schools don't teach us that. So even though we all know school is an agenda to keep us as a clog, a slave for this system, but school doesn't even do that properly. School doesn't even teach human beings how to prepare for this world properly. So there's a lot of issues that needs to be addressed, and I feel like the main problem is that they're not having the courage to speak up, or they're not having the courage to make change. And that gets dangerous because people are yes man, no man. They're always following the rules. And there's nothing wrong with following the rules, but if you're constantly following the rules and not questioning anything, and there's one thing to question things, having awareness, that's a good thing. But if you're not taking action, then that's a fucking problem as well too. So now that creates a domino effect of society keep doing the same shit that's toxic, but there's no real change being made unless someone speaks up or takes action. So yeah. So that's all I gotta say. Have a good one. Peace.